Wizard, you and Gary last season said Catford didn't deserve to be in the Premier League, and a few of our players, I'm not going to say who, kind of took it upon themselves to, as kind of fuel, as kind of rocket fuel, just to kind of shove it down your throat and Gary's throat. How well do you think Catford did last season, and like, do you still stand by that statement?
Just to clarify, what you're talking about is and some of your players are going off of. It's actually quite silly because we were talking about what happened in the league before and how you got there, not the fact that you don't deserve to play in there because you're not a good team. So, okay, it gave them fuel for them to do well. Well done. You guys did really well, and I'll take my hat off to you guys that you performed. You guys recruited really well. But to go back to what we spoke about, I stand by what I said. I'm not going to backtrack. If you're going off of how you got there prior, you didn't deserve to be in there. It's not that you wasn't good. You weren't a good team. There's nothing to do with that. It's how myself and Gary or myself looked at it was it was never about the team itself. It was never about how you play, what you do, and all that stuff. Because I've played against Catford, I know a lot of the boys anyway. So it was never a footballing term. It was just more of how you got there. If that makes sense. It's a bit like, it was a bit like a Metrogas when everyone was saying Metrogas folded, but they're still in the league. And for me, even I was turning around saying, well, if that's the case, they don't deserve to be there, because if they're a team that keeps playing, and when the going gets tough, they just keep folding, but then keep coming back later on, it makes no sense having them in that league. You might as well move them down, let them regroup or whatever, and then work their way back up. That was my point behind it. If we're going to talk about how you guys did in the season, mate, you don't finish second for no reason. Do you get what I mean? You finish second because you guys did everything you need to do. You beat the teams you need to beat. If I'm correct, you beat Holland. I played in that game when you beat Holland. You know what I mean? So you guys deserve to be where you were. But if you're asking me, does that change my opinion on what I thought prior? No, my opinion is my opinion. It stays the same. Like, I'm not going to change what I thought. Do you know what I mean? No one has to agree with it. No one has to think I'm right, but I'm not saying I'm right, but it's just what I feel. So I stand by it. And, I think what Nana's done at Catford is amazing. You know what I mean? It's no feat. The league it's a tough league. And to finish up there like you did, it's brilliant. Well done. I think this season will be another showing of how you guys manage it. And I feel like it's got stronger, the league. If you look at the league now, Greenwich-Borough, Metrogas obviously winning yesterday, so they must have a decent squad. LSU apparently recruited really well, so LSU are going to come back stronger. I don't know if you guys are recruited, but if you guys are recruited, how well you recruited. So now I guess for you guys, the challenge will be, are you able to maintain where you were, or are you able to go one step further now? Instead of finish second, can you win it? You know what I mean? Like I guess that'd be the challenge for you guys. But yeah, I stand by what I said last time. I don't feel like, I know Nana's itching to say something, but I'm gonna.
No. I agree with you. Like, I was laughing when he brought up that, because I knew in my mind that he was going to say something about that.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's interesting because people do. I'm not saying to resist, but that someone, you make your opinion and someone will bring it up and thinking you're going to go, "Oh, I was really wrong." I'm not going to change my mind.
Well, I think the bulk of it was that, especially like Gary, the way he said it.
Yeah. I get it.
It went a bit off the rails.
Yeah.
Like, and he just rubbed people up the wrong way. But for me, I sitting behind the scenes and looking at things, I was actually happy because that it made a lot of people underestimate us.
Yeah.
And also, it also added fuel for us as a team to prove that we deserve to be here. For a fact that Catford will never give a game away. Catford, if you have 9 players who step on the pitch every single week, will fight tooth and nail to try and get something out of the game. So it wasn't a bad decision for the league to get us where we did, because we've proven over the years, and the 4 was good enough to get us where we wanted to get. I mean, a few shortfalls, didn't reach where we actually wanted to reach, but it was a good maiden season, and hopefully, we can stabilize and build from there. This season we lost a lot of players, just like every other team.
Yeah.
But we have to work with what we've got and see where we end up this season.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, that's one thing. Tabriz mentioned it. Like, you'll never give away a game, which is always good for the league, and it's always good for the teams in the league, because that if you've got Catford, listen, unless it's really chucking it down with rain and it gets called off due to bad weather, I guess one thing you can always count that you're never going to not have a game against Catford. That was never the issue. For me, it was just the way that it just came about. Do you know what I mean? How the jump happened and whatever. But I think I'm not sure if it was yourself or if it was Debris. Someone made a point where, like, if it's offered to you, you dip. Listen, 100%. Some people do that, but then it's like, it was just my opinion of maybe would you have gone back and won it to prove a point. But then look where you finished last season, and the rest is history. But yeah, to answer your question, Tabriz, no, I don't change my mind on my opinion.
Yeah.
But and did I ever feel like Catford were a team that will struggle? No, I knew they'd be all right because of the team they had, and it was always a good thing that you knew that they would be firing your bellies from the comments that were made. So well done to Catford, and I hope Catford have another good season, because if they have another good season, it makes the league interesting. And for anyone that plays football, you want a league to be interesting. You don't want it to be boring. You don't want one or two teams to run away with it. You want everyone to be fighting against everyone, and you want it to go to the wire. So, good luck to yourselves and everyone else in the league.